So imagine being in a room with the completionist, maybe other lawyers, maybe his completionist dad, Gerard's dad, maybe his brother, maybe his lawyers from the company side that does the golf tournaments, and coming up with, hey, we need to make a response video. And in that response video, you should specifically mention that you are going to try to sue Karl Jobst, who is obviously the Billy Mitchell thing is out of hand. We can cover that in a legal video a little later. The defamation is definitely overused on YouTube in terms of winnability. The winnability is very low on a public figure, which I've discussed in great detail across multiple cases like CoffeeZilla, Sports Card Investor versus Sports Card Radio, CoffeeZilla versus Logan Paul, Anthony Farrar versus me and other individuals in the watch community. And yeah, the winnability on this is very low if the person suing for defamation is considered a public figure. Many times these are YouTubers, so they are by definition, if they have a substantial following, a public figure. But that's that. I did want to kind of give my legal take on the slander and what the new response has been. So there has been new audio. The new audio is very revealing, and it shows that, it shows a version of Gerard that seems very humble, seems very apologetic. It's not the version we got from his apology video. And in fact, his apology video was very aggressive and, again, threatening defamation lawsuits with his team of lawyers, right? So, in my personal opinion, this double down, and it was a double down where he makes a response video. A, should a response video be made? No. What you should have done, this is my opinion, is pay the $600,000, add $100,000, $200,000, whatever the extra for the golf court could possibly be, the highest amount that could be. Donate that on your behalf or your dad's behalf, and then release a video stating, I apologize, what I did was wrong. I thank Karl Jobst, I thank Muta for their aid in helping address this situation. I encourage, you guys to subscribe to them and learn more about their channels and so on, because they're doing good work. I want to address the future of this channel. I want to address, various components of what has been alleged, some things that I think were unfair. But at the end of the day, just actually thank Karl Jobst and thank Muta for being so reasonable. They did not have to be reasonable. They could have went for the throat right away. They could have released this audio in their original videos. And I mean, in terms of that audio is the smoking gun in my legal professional opinion, because it shows that he understands something is wrong and he's trying to negotiate. He's trying to negotiate, right? He's asking, hey, do you guys want a bribe? Anyone want a bribe? And he's trying to then appeal to him. He understands. There's no doubt in my mind from his tone, from the words that he's speaking, that this dude understands. He understands better than anyone, probably on YouTube at this point in time, what the repercussions would be for him to double down. Yet he chooses to double down. And this shows a arrogance. This shows a God complex. This shows that he thinks he's invincible. He understands that this audio exists. His lawyers understand the audios exist. His dad understands this audio exists. And they still chose to double down on slander. Had they not... I don't love the apology. I actually hate his apology. I think it was very, very bad. But had he not said that last part about the suing Karl Jobst in particular, specifically Karl Jobst, who himself is in a legal battle, has been in legal battles with Billy Mitchell, and out of all people who knows how expensive that legal battle could be, it would be one Karl Jobst. And the last thing that Karl Jobst would want to do would be engage in another legal battle for defamation, right? So, of course, Karl Jobst is going to release this audio. And in this audio, I'm just going to play it again. We've played it a million times, but, why not, right? It's extra 1 minute in ad revenue time for the channel.
Ruin the legacy of my family family of my mom and her memory, especially because this is such a personal thing for the last 25 years of my life. You know, I'm not trying to be like, do you guys want money to help me hide this? It's not what this is at all. I'm just asking from a humanity perspective of, like, if I am the target of this, I have 20 mouths to feed. I have sponsors. I have a business. I'm trying to make video games. I'm trying to get out of content creation so I don't have to worry about YouTube anymore and do better things in the world. And I just know, because of my track record of things like G4 exploding, me being friends with John Tron when he was a racist, you know, I've been a part of, like, you know, Pro Jared, like, pulling one thread about the charity thing is going to upheave my entire life in a way that scares the living crap out of me. And I don't want to go home tonight and tell everyone, hey, there is a gigantic thing coming to claim my career, and you all have to close down and find somewhere else to do. I know this is shitty me to say this. I'm not trying to ask for sympathy or anything, but...
So that recording, in my opinion, shows guilt. It shows remorse. It shows he understands what he has done is wrong. And it shows even negotiation. It's showing that he's trying to negotiate his way out of this emotionally and potentially with money, right? And he knows this video exists. He knows Karl Jobst has this video because in the previous video, Karl Jobst has actually released part of the audio. And people, oh, yeah, hey, that's the audio. That's a bad part of the audio. Well, that turned out to actually be the good part of the audio. The bad part of the audio was this. And in about 1 minute and 38 seconds, that's the length of this audio clip, he destroys any legal standing he has for slander, because slander means you have a reputation, right? He's done far more damage in this minute and 38 seconds than 98 seconds than any YouTuber can ever do to himself. To him. No Muta video, no Some Ordinary Gamer video, no Karl Jobst video exposing him can ever do as much damage as his own audio. Right? From the audio clips where he's talking about donating to San Francisco Research Center and being a huge donor and being one of their biggest funders, right? To like the fact that they were planning around his donations even though they haven't received a cent, to the various bits, oh, everything's going to charity and I pay out of pocket. Everything he said has been recorded publicly, and it is valid for criticism. It's valid for opinion. It is valid for analysis. And when you are on a recording, you know, when you are on a recording and you're talking about JonTron and Pro Jared and all these people who you know personally and you've been involved in, you are trying your hardest to get out of this. But instead of apologizing, instead of manning up, saying I was wrong, I'm bad, I'm going to donate directly in the future. We're not going to donate. I'm going to end my charity. We added some extra money. The one last thing this guy never did was donate his own money to charity. It was always somebody else's money for charity, and then he was able to take a snippet of that money to grow. He used his charity and his dead mom to grow his channel. Without his dead mom, without this charity, his channel would not be 1 million subscribers. He's not that unique. He's not that smart. And he's not giving opinions that are vastly... He's just completing games, right? I think it would still be a good channel, but it would be nothing like it is today. Because for the last 10 years, it's been about his dead mom, his dead mom, his dead mom. He's invited developers, he invited collabs, he's been able to reach out to people because people feel bad for him, okay? Simply stated, people felt bad for him when he was talking about his dead mom, his dead mom, his dead mom. And I watched his videos, so I didn't know who this guy was until probably a month ago when the drama came up. And it reminded me a lot of the other guy I cover, Anthony Farrar, who is now sitting in jail waiting trial, which is next month. And he could be in jail for a long time based on how much money he stole. He stole $4.7 million. And I see a lot of parallels between that individual and Gerard. They're both arrogant. They both pretend to be something they are not, and it's really obvious. You can see the cracks, right, when they're stressed. You can actually, this is the actual Gerard. Gerard is the real Gerard in the video, begging and pleading. He's got 20 mouths to feed, and well, that's not on them, Gerard. That's on you, right? That's on you. If these people lose their jobs and they got families and kids, and that's because you did something bad, Gerard. That's because you doubled down. He still had a moment in time, and this is what I talk about on Anthony a lot. There was still a moment of time where he can just make it right. He can make it right. Just donate a little bit of your own money. You're a very wealthy guy, Gerard. Your dad is very wealthy, right? They're having golf tournaments for charity for your dead mom. Wealthy. Donate the $600,000 and then cover up and donate to the organizations that you said you would donate to. You had 4 organizations that you kept repeating over and over. Donate to those guys, split them exactly the same, and that's it. And then donate additionally to other organizations that you may not even have spoke about, and that would garner very goodwill, right? Your own money, Gerard. If you're going to spend God knows how much money trying to sue these 2 guys, why don't you save that money? Nobody, not your dad, because you don't think this way. You're not wired to think in a charitable way. If I were you, at the time where I know I'm screwed, I know I got caught with my hand in a cookie jar, maybe my dad's hand's in there too, I don't know. I would just say, here's the $600,000 in the bank account. Here's another $100,000 from our family to cover any. We're going to reconcile. Give us a little bit of time. We're going to reconcile the books. We're going to make sure everything's okay. But in the meantime, here's the upfront $100,000, $200,000 donation to cover any misgivings that we may have had, right, from our family. We don't want the money back, even if it turns out that we don't owe that money. That's goodwill. That's marketing. That's PR. His career is probably worth $2 to $3 million, right, based on what I've seen. It's worth the $200,000 investment to save a $2 to $3 million golden goose, if you will. Even in a deteriorate state, I think I still value at about $2 to $3 million his channel from a marketing perspective in terms of sponsors. He would have recovered. There's no recovery from this. This double down is the dumbest move I've ever seen. And I bet you it was some ass lawyer who said this because they wanted more billable hours. I guarantee you no one logically thought about, hey, how terrible it was to go after Karl Jobst, somebody who already has legal fees out the wazoo for something that was unfair to him, in my opinion, for Billy Mitchell. I've looked into that too. I don't know if I want to make a video series about that. Probably not. It's, I got to look into more of it. But that is the last person you want to threaten with slander and defamation because he's actually lived through it. He's actually lived through the defendant side of that. So the completionist, bold move, my friend, didn't pan out. It destroyed your career. And that 98-second clip that you knew existed, that they were nice enough not to share and release upon, in their original videos, that 98 seconds absolutely wrecked this guy from any legal standing he would have for defamation, in my professional opinion. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Bye, guys.